Okay, I'm here with Alan. We're just on this carpet court, which I've personally never seen a carpet court with this much moss. But you're just saying that's fairly normal, Alan.
It's fairly normal for a carpet court when the customer has basically neglected it for a couple of years. And this is not uncommon. And the way to stop this is basically when it's in a pristine condition is you have to regularly brush it and put chemical on, and it's got to be the right chemical.
Right. So when you say regularly brush it, how often do you have to brush it?
If this was my tennis court, I'd be brushing it every couple of months with a very, very, very stiff brush. Because if you keep the fibres of the carpet loose, it stops the moss getting a hold. Once the moss has got a hold, like this court, you're basically into a full renovation of the tennis court.
So you're saying if it was, you were showing me if it's moving or if
Right.
it isn't.
If the fibres, if you take the fibres of the carpet, and that's the fibres, and you've got sand inside there, if the fibres are allowed to compact and not move, moss will grow.
Right.
If you brush it and the fibres are allowed to be loose and movement, it will stop the moss getting a hold.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Right.
A little bit of chemical also controls it as well.
So when you say a stiff brush, that's going to be hard work, isn't it?
I personally wouldn't do it. I would employ somebody to come along and do it, but it's very, very hard work.
Yeah.
And the bristles on the brush have got to be phenomenally stiff.
Right.
And you can't buy anything like that, within your normal garden centre.
Right.
It's basically, if you think of scarifying, as you would scarify a grass lawn, it's the same sort of process.
Right.
If you go back to your fibres, you've really got to give them a good shake round.
Right.
To keep it nice and loose.
And presumably actually playing on a tennis court is going to compact that and make it worse.
Yeah, especially around the baselines when you're playing tennis. That's the area where it's compacted most. But when you're playing tennis, you're moving the fibres around, so
right.
You very seldom get moss on the playing area.
Right.
It's always from the fence
the edges
to the tram lines.
Yeah, I mean you can see it here, can't you? This tram line is lethal. I wouldn't want to play tennis on this.
This is a very dangerous court to play tennis on. I would professionally lock the court and not play tennis on it at all.
So every couple of months brush it, and
Yep.
how often do you have to put this chemical on then?
Nowadays, 3 times a year at least.
Right.
10 years ago when we started, it would have been once a year, but the climate has changed. It's warmer and damper, so the moss loves it more.
Right.
And we're able to supply you the professional chemical for you to put into a backpack, just walk around the court and spray it.
Right. Okay, well that's excellent. Thanks for that.